Sturgis Scooper Lucy Hamer, congratulations on such a great year at soccer. Let's start by reflecting back on the 2025 season. What are your overall thoughts on how things went for the Sturgis Lady Scoopers?
Yeah, so my thoughts are how we did a good job. I think that it was a good season, and it ended shorter than expected, but overall, I think it was a good season for us, and we had some pretty close games, and it was just a fun season overall.
Great. Lucy, what are some of the biggest highlights or turning points of the season for you personally or as the team?
The biggest highlight I thought of the season was coming close to Pier during our game. We came back and we tied the score. Unfortunately, we did lose, but it was a big confidence booster because I think they were third in the state at the time, so it was a good feeling.
Great. Lucy, you served as a team captain this season. What did the leadership role mean to you?
I was very honored to be a captain, and it was really good being someone that people look up to and just keeping people to remind them that your mistakes don't define you and that you can always get better.
Lucy, what do you hope the younger players, especially the juniors and underclassmen, take away from your class of all your seniors, the examples you laid out?
I hope they just remember to have fun and always have a good attitude, and that they just keep the love for the game. So,
Lucy, last question. What are you most proud of when you look back at all the years playing as a lady scooper soccer?
I'm most proud of creating friendships with everyone from other teams and even my team.
Very good. Congratulations on an awesome season. Lucy, we're going to miss you next year. Best of luck to you in your future.
Thank you.
Iris Zylstra, congratulations on a fantastic season. I believe you ended up with 8 goals this year, and that's something to be really proud of. So let's start by reflecting back on the 2025 season. What are your overall thoughts on how things went for your team?
I think we definitely improved a lot from the start of the season. We started working better together, more cohesively, a lot more communication. It was unfortunate that we couldn't make it to playoffs, but it wasn't a bad season, so
Sure.
Nothing to be upset with.
Iris, what are some of the biggest highlights or turning point of the season for you personally?
I think the biggest turning point probably would have been my goal against STM the second time.
Yep.
There were only 30 seconds left of the second half, and we were down by 1. And without that goal, we would have been third in the conference, and I believe we finished second.
That's correct. Very good. You served as captain this season. What does that leadership role mean to you?
I've been playing since I was in 7th grade, so the older girls always set a really good example for me. And so I was happy that I was in that role to provide that for the younger girls as well.
Very good. We have a lot of younger players and especially a lot of juniors, underclassmen coming up. What's your takeaway, or what can they take away from your senior class this year?
As long as they're encouraging to the younger girls, setting a good example, as long as they're confident in their abilities, then they should be golden.
Very good. Well, congratulations, Iris, on a great season. I understand you'll be playing soccer at the college level.
Yeah, Gillette.
And we really look forward to seeing you, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Paul Smith, on a great season as the Lady Scooper soccer coach and finishing up your second year as head coach. We ended the season with a 4-8-2 record. Coach, give us your overall thoughts on how the 2025 season went for your Lady Scoopers.
Moving into second year, we're still building. We progressed in a lot of areas. We set a team record for assists. We improved on our goals. We were finished out the year 1 goal away from setting a record for goals for our team. Once again, we we still have this really great, challenging schedule, but I think compared to year past, we were in it. We were in most of our games, a lot of tough, hard-fought games, especially within the conference, and it just made it a really great, fun, challenging season.
What were some of the biggest highlights or turning points that you saw this season?
There was a lot of turning points within games. Number one, most proud of the way that this group of girls continued to battle. In years past, they would have if they got down maybe by 1 or 2 goals, they would have packed it in. But I think you saw that mind shift change, most notably against STM. Scoring a game-tying goal with 33 seconds left. Instead of packing it in, they fought, they continued to battle. And then, when we played the number 3 ranked team in the state, Pierre. Pierre went up very quickly by a couple of goals. We fought back. We tied the game. Sadly, we ended up giving up a goal there in the waning minutes of that game. But still, once again, that's a big motivational and a mind change and a culture-shifting game for us.
Coach, in our preseason interview, you talked about what it would take to make a successful season. In your eyes, it was pretty simple, do well in the conference and hit the state tournament. How close do you feel the team came to achieving those goals?
When it comes to state number 1, that's always going to be the primary goal, right, is to try to get into that, especially for us here at this school. We fell a little bit short on that, but, with failure, as you tell students, athletes, you have to have failure in order to build, and that's okay. Within our conference, we came in number 2 within our conference. Our big benchmark has always been Spearfish. We tied them for the 2nd year in a row in a very highly spirited game. So I still feel like we're there. We are right on the verge of something special and moving forward here.
Coach Smith, you have 8 seniors, with many of them getting a lot of varsity time. 3 of those seniors earned spots as team captains, Lucy, Iris, and Bella. Talk a little bit about losing 8 seniors and how you replace that valuable experience.
There's no way that you can replace an Iris Zylstra, a Lucy Hamer, and even leadership of Bella Tobias. You can't replace that. Carson Kostaneski, filling a big role for us, used to play as a forward, knew that we needed a right back, and selflessly went back to play right back. And then those other 4 seniors, although they play on JV, they're seniors. There's leadership. There's time within the sport there that they have helped to mentor and bring along our younger ones. So losing that isn't invaluable, right? But what they did do good at is training those younger individuals. And along with losing these 8, we also brought in 8 new players this year. And those young 7th graders, they have a lot of game. They have a lot of skill. You saw flashes of that. Our 8th grader, Aubrey Pickett, getting goals on varsity. Nadia Smith getting goals on varsity. One of the most notable ones is she started that comeback against Pierre. So we have gamers at that level that can come, and thankfully these seniors, they pass down a lot of stuff to them, and that's invaluable.
So overall, what legacy do you think this group of seniors really left behind?
Leadership. And that starts with Iris Zylstra and Lucy Hamer most notably. How to show up, how to prepare, how to do things, not only just from a soccer aspect, but even when you talk about a broader aspect of being scoopers. They're cross-country runners. They do really well at that. They perform in track as well. So it's what you want to embody out of school athletics, out of high school athletics, is you want team players across the spectrum, and their reach is far. It's not just with us as soccer players, but it's school-wide. Also, you can throw in a homecoming queen as well, so that just once again shows the impact that Lucy herself and Iris being on homecoming court had across the whole spectrum of this school. And when you lose that's invaluable, but that legacy is going to continue for a long time.
Talk about any school records that were set this season.
Yeah, we had Corey Kamak, who had a phenomenal year. Corey, sadly, last year was out due to injuries as a freshman, and slowly worked her way back into the final game of the year. And you got to see a flash of that last year. She actually sealed our Black Hills Conference Championship for us with a last-second goal against STM again. And then this year, just out of nowhere. She set our record for goals with 10 in a season, working up top and filling a role that sadly was vacant by Berkeley Gill due to a knee injury and the departure of Avery Marler. She stepped into big shoes and 10 goals. Not only that, but she also set the record for goals and combined assists in a season by adding 6 assists on top of that. So really a phenomenal player. And when you go back, if you ever get a chance to look at film, you'll see how she was team schemed against her, double, triple teamed sometimes at times. Just phenomenal. Sadly, should have been an all-state player this year, but we'll continue to work on that for her in the future. And I think as she goes into her junior and senior years, that's just going to be huge. On top of that, with records, we have a litany of other players that just tied records. 3 goals in a game was done by Iris as well as Corey, as well as Izzy Wolkenhauer. We had assists in the game. Ella Walker hit that. So just lots of tied records around the whole spectrum.
Very good. The upcoming season is just a short 9 months away. You've got 6 juniors on the roster this year. Offensively, who are some players fans should keep in mind as key contributors that you're looking forward to in 2026?
I'm really excited. She got back on the field. Berkeley Guild worked her way back from her injuries. And even the short time that she was back on the field in 4 games, she averaged a goal a game, which is phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to the pairing of her and Corey Kamak together on the field. I think that's going to be great. You always have Liliaga, who does decent things with the ball as far as finding feet, finding assists throughout there. And then you have to start to look to some of our younger players, like Tessa Biliou is a name to look forward to start helping, in that attacking formation. And then you drop down to some of those younger names that are going to have to step up early for us. Nadia Smith, I look to fill that void along with Aubrey Pickett as a freshman.
Defensively, who do you see stepping in to anchor next season's team?
We are led in the back by our keeper, Ariana Burke, right? And rightfully, arguably so, another all-state player who's just phenomenal back there. Right now, she's sitting at 412 saves for her career, easily going to break that 500 mark, and that's something that I doubt will ever be touched here at the school. So it all starts with her. From there, you go to Izzy Wolkenhauer, our center back, a sophomore, so we'll have her for the next 3 years. And then Ella Walker, as a freshman, she took the Carson Kostaneski route. She stepped up this year and moved back to left back and did a phenomenal job of holding that down. So with the addition of Alexis Larson as well, who came out this year, we're defensively still going to be in a really great spot heading into next year.
So what's your message to the players and families and supporters of Lady Scooper Soccer as you wrap up 2025 and look ahead to the future?
The 2 things that I would like to point out to everybody is that culture change takes time. It's not an overnight thing. We're progressively building. Even though it's 1 more tie than last year, it's progression. Against our key competitors within our conference, we maintain to be in the competition at the top with that. The off-season goals are something that I would focus on. It's important to train. It's important to get into the gym. It's important not to be stagnant. Be involved with your school and continue to help out in these sports. And then, as you said, it's only a short 9 months away. As soon as we put the jerseys away, we're breaking them right back out. So,
well, congratulations, Coach Smith, on just an outstanding season. You had some great games and come short just on a few that would have made a lot of difference on the record. But overall, a successful season, and we look forward to 2026.
Thank you guys for your time at Black Hills TV. Thank you, Mr. Potts and Black Hills Pioneer. We appreciate all that you guys do for us. So thank you for your time.